What's up there, gamer guys and gamer gals? My name is Skelly Tone. This is the Super MetaBros Podcast Royale, episode Nizzy 9. I'm joined here with Sheepshifter.
What's up, guys?
What it do, what it do. So, we haven't talked in a week. Like, for people who don't know, which is everybody, we usually just end the show, don't talk at all, and start the show every Monday or Tuesday, depending on when you're listening. So how you been, man? What's been going on this week?
Pretty normal tame week. I had a lot of work and stuff, so I didn't get much video gaming done. I haven't even streamed in like 2 weeks. I did my first stream in like a week and a half yesterday. Haven't really had much time for any games or anything. I played a little bit of Fortnite, a little bit of GTA Online, but other than that, I haven't really done anything. So I'm kind of out of the loop. You're going to have to kind of fill me in on what's going on this week.
I usually see the notifications of your streams when I wake up. That's usually how I know when you're streaming. I've noticed you haven't streamed very much this past week. Should be cray, dude. Should be cray. Work, life, responsibility.
You know it.
So biggest thing that's going on right now is Gamescom. Obviously in Cologne, Germany. It's one of the biggest gaming events of the Eastern Hemisphere. One of the most interesting things to me are the new RTX 2000 GPU series that NVIDIA announced. They held a keynote, a very cringeworthy keynote. The guy hosting it was just, I mean, he was excited, and I get that, but it just wasn't good from a viewer standpoint. So basically what it is, these cards are fucking amazing. Like, these offer more than just a simple res boost and a performance boost. Like, these actually has what is called the RTX. And what you use, you can switch the RTX on and off when you use these cards. RTX basically changes the lighting system if it's implemented in the games by the developers, because it has to be, coded in the game. It will change the light source to behave more realistically. It'll change tessellation, reflections. The big two are lighting and reflections. Because I feel they showed a Battlefield demo with the tank on the opposite side of the street shooting down. It's shooting its flamethrowers. You can see every single light source, every flame, and every single window going down that street. Every bullet shot by the players, even the enemy players, you could even see the reflections in their eyeballs of the muzzle flares of the guns and the tanks, and it's amazing. I really believe this is the next step in next-gen gaming, and Sony and Microsoft would be stupid to not have these in their next consoles. I sent you a link of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. What do you think of that?
It looked good. I've always, I'm at the point where until it's like hyper realistic, the gains and upgrades in graphics technology are minimal at best to me. When it becomes so minuscule that you're worried about details in an eyeball or on flashes and stuff like that, I don't have the most expensive 4K TV. I'm not getting that good graphic quality anyway. I'm not that concerned with, if I can see it, it's good enough for me. These things are already HD, beautiful quality. I mean, until it just reaches that level of hyper realism where it's almost virtual reality, the next biggest, I don't need the biggest, best, most powerful graphic possible. I mean, I watch my,
which is $20,000.
Yeah, I can watch my movies in SD. I don't watch my movies in HD. I'm perfectly happy with SD, so I'm kind of down to earth. I don't need the biggest and best. I mean, even if I had the money, I kind of just, it's never really been my thing, People want the most graphics and the most frames per second and the most, pixels or, whatever. I've never been that kind of... I've never been that person, and it's never really affected my gaming experience or my movie viewing experience or any of those things. I've seen games on higher end machines and played them on higher end televisions and with, the PlayStation Pros and the computer games and PC games on high graphics, high end PCs. And I was like, that's nice, but it wasn't worth the drastic difference in price. there's a huge difference in price for a minuscule amount of detail, in my opinion. I
You
mean, it
think
may
it's
seem
minuscule. I mean, it
it.
affects gameplay ultimately. The nicer graphics card you have, the nicer CPU you have, the more frames you have, the more input time you have in order. Like if you're playing a Twitch shooter, that's more time to flick
Oh,
the
I
mouse
understand. I
around and shoot.
understand all that. Yeah, I get that, but I'm not that kind of gamer. I'm
I
a.
mean, dude,
I'm a.
go back and
I
play
have.
GoldenEye 64, dude. That game, I couldn't play that trash game. I could not play that game anymore. It runs at literally 15 frames per second. It makes me sick just looking at it. It's one of those things. It's so inconsistent. Like, I guess I'm just coddled. I
Well,
don't know.
that's still the Nintendo 64 was affordable, and at the
Yeah.
time it was amazing. I was like, wow, this is great, this is awesome. But fast forward 10 years, and you've got a more powerful machine that is still affordable. You can buy a more expensive version, and it's fine. So if they keep a base model and maybe have that be the Pro, I mean, because I did see, there's a lot of stuff going on here that it does do, and it's going to make game the developers' jobs easier. I can understand that
Yep.
from that perspective. Um, but I'm kind of worried that this is just there's going to be something new 2 weeks after that, and 2 weeks after that. I mean, this is now that they found that, are they going to develop upon it even faster? Are they going to make it improved in, I don't know, 6 months? Is there going to be a new, better one than that? That's the
Oh, of
question.
course, dude.
And it
Uh,
keeps.
let's see. They announced a $400 model, a what was it? $800 model, a $1,200 model, and a $20,000 model.
Yeah, there's no graphic boost in my opinion for a video game that's worth $20,000.
No, not
Not
right
even
now.
worth.
Not
I
right now.
can't even say it'd be worth $900. Just
Yeah.
for improvement in graphics, just so the water looks better. That's not a. It's not
Well,
very
see,
important to me.
what sticks out to me is a lot of these things could potentially change the way that we play these games because you're thinking about horror games, you're thinking about proper lighting, proper reflections. Like if you're playing the new Silent Hill in 15 years, and you could actually walk through that room and look through that mirror in the reflection and see something behind you along with
They could
everything
do
in the
that, and
scene.
they could do that in a game with today's technology.
Not like
That's
they could with this new technology though,
They
because with
could.
what you're
No, they could. What it would take is a developer thinking outside the box and using all the tools at his disposal. There's
well, yeah,
games
what
like
they do
that
now
are.
what they do now is project a camera source right now. So it's basically taking the feed of what's happening right there and displaying it on the
Well,
material. But this is
I'm saying
actually
that it's possible to do with today's technology. They just haven't figured out how to do it. There's
it's
always a
actually
way.
well, they brought developers on the stage and they've even said that before this it was impossible to actually fully render real-time scenes within a reflection of a physically based rendered surface. Like
Well,
it's
I mean, maybe so, but that's one of those things that's so minuscule and such a trivial detail to me.
oh,
I
but like I
mean,
said, dude, like you're walking down the street in GTA, you can see the reflections of everything in the puddles in the streets, including the cars that pass by,
I
everything going
know,
on in
but
the sky.
it's so true. I don't when I'm playing GTA, I don't have time to sit there and look in a puddle at reflections. I mean,
Oh,
some
dude, I've
people
walked
do.
through the
Some
game and
people
looked at billboards and signs, and
I do that too. I've gone and I read try to read the magazines and stuff that are laying around and look at the newspapers that are flashing around and stuff like that. There's a amazing amount of detail. You can read the freaking magazines that flop around and pieces of paper. You can go up and read
yeah,
what's written on them. At this point, it's amazing already. I mean, what I get what you're saying, how it's so much more, but it's already a lot. I'm not it's not that much more to me.
okay,
It's
that's fair.
yeah.
I
I'm
mean, I
not
get excited
I'm
about it.
impressed. I'm impressed with the
Yeah,
graphics. It's nice, but at the same time being, from an economical standpoint and, probably about as cheap of a gamer as you're going to find, I don't I don't need the best and the fastest and the prettiest. I don't need the shiniest.
As long as it can
Uh,
do 1080p, I'm fine. I mean, at least
yeah, I
1080
mean,
next gen. There's no reason why any next gen game should be under 1080p with that technology, because I feel like that sort of technology is going to be crucial in next gen because everything is going to be compared to that. You're talking about a whole like it's like I said before, man. It goes way beyond a res boost or frame rate boost. This is completely changing the way everything is rendered in your game, the way everything looks and feels. Like imagine the next Elder Scrolls game. You're walking up to a huge pond with a mountain in the background, and it's just the Fresnel effect taking place, to where the further the pond goes out, the better reflective it is. Like that's just because I was enamored with Skyrim for details like that, just for the foliage, the lighting of the sky and the mountains and the clouds, and I don't know, stuff like that just really gets to me. It can make or break a game for me.
I
And
gotcha.
just to see it be taken to the next level is it's pretty exciting. I'm ready to see what people could do with this. Let's
I
see.
definitely I get what you're saying. I mean, I'm looking forward to it if it's included in the base PS4 or
Yeah.
PS5 in the cheapest model available. If that's a part of the package, then I'm totally down for it. But if it's in a $900 PS5 or a $700 PS5, it's not going to be for me. I'm just going to be like, well, I guess I missed the bus on that one because
Next gen consoles aren't going to do that much. They're going to do the same thing they did with the PS4 and Xbox One because they realize the more accessible their console is to more people, that's pretty much going to determine who. I mean, that's not the only thing, but it's one of the main things that determines who's going to win that race.
okay.
PS4 launched with what? It was $399. And Xbox One launched $499. PlayStation 4 is looking to surpass 100 million units sold in the next couple of years. Xbox, one could assume, is sitting around 40. There's no way to tell though because they haven't released numbers in like 2 or 3 years. Um, I don't feel like this technology is going to be costly though, because it seems to be, since they're selling the cheapest cards right now for $400, $400 or $500. I mean, that's not that bad considering what the Titan 1080 can do, or 1080 Ti, or all those cards, which are way more costly. But those cards can output at 4K. Like I said, if it can run 1080p with the new RX technology, then that perfectly well warrants a next gen purchase to me. Because it's such an upgrade, it's such a boost to image quality in general.
I think your dog's
Um,
rabid.
he's a little bitch, that's what he is. Okay.
I mean, I understand. As long as I don't. I'm gonna buy the base console of whatever comes out, but I'm probably not gonna go further than that. So I'll be happy with what I get. Um, I think it'll be okay. It is big news for the people who are into that, who really get into the resolutions and the. I mean, I've just never been that concerned, even back when it was first coming out, and they had I guess it's because I never had, growing up and all that, I never really had the best TVs and the best stuff like that, so I got comfortable with
Oh,
it,
sure.
and I'm very practical and economical in my spending, so I try to make sure I'm not spending excessively on video games and stuff like that. So
Right.
it's I don't want it it's a lot more of an investment to have casual gaming systems as opposed to high end gaming systems. There's a big jump. You can't just go into the high end spectrum halfway. You've got to go all in. You've got to get the TV and the console and the cables and the cords and all the peripherals that go with it, and that can get really really expensive.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So
Nothing like a PC,
especially
though.
especially here where, we don't have the best internet available in that. I know mine isn't unlimited. So I couldn't even get a 4K TV if I wanted to, because I couldn't watch anything in 4K unless I went and bought 4K DVDs. And that's another more expensive investment than the regular baseline product. Instead of spending $9 for a DVD, I got to spend $26 for a DVD just so
Yeah.
I can watch it in 4K, which is such a negligible difference when I'm watching. If I was watching it on two TVs right side by side, I would say, well, yeah, that one's a little prettier, but it's
But
not worth
otherwise, it's just
it's not worth the amount of money you have to spend to get that upgrade. And the upgrade's not worth the investment to me. When I can have just as much fun on the cheaper, more
yeah.
practical version. That's just a personal opinion. I'm not against the improve. You've got to have the advancements for it, for the expensive models, for the baseline model to get better. Um, those aren't going to improve. The technology for those things aren't going to improve unless somebody's trying to advance that high end market. So I get the need for it and the necessity. I'm not against it at all. It's just it's always kind of baffled me. Uh, it's almost like a trick. They almost got you tricked into spending this much more for just the shinier piece of candy.
Throwing
And
around buzzwords like teraflops and gigahertz and
yeah, they're just trying to impress you and trying to make, they're just marketing.
yeah.
It's You could probably
I
get that same system for around the same price, but the inflation with saying that it's higher performance and all that drives the price up. They could say, well, we here's how much we can charge realistically, but here's how much we're going to charge just because we can say this is the best you can get. This is our highest performing machine. We can charge extra just because of that. I don't know that that's actually what's happening, but it seems like it would
yeah.
in this day and
Well,
age, especially.
I feel like, and well, real quick to the point of the $20,000 card, it was actually announced that $20,000 card has the render capability of a $60,000 supercomputer chip. So I think that's where I'm not going to say gimmick, but I think that's where the catch lies for a lot of people. I mean, if you can afford it, then that's perfectly fine. I really want to see someone buy that chip, and I want to see what they can stream with it, like what their games will look like. I'm very curious to know. But, I've been thinking a lot about next gen lately, man, and to your point, I don't feel like 4K would be enough. Like you said, it doesn't warrant. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You're getting a cleaner, overall more crisp image, but that's about it. And I think finally with this RX technology, I finally see something in next gen that could just totally change the game.
The only
Because
thing that I'm really going to consider next gen is, like I said, that hyper realism, like almost virtual reality, where nothing looks CGI, nothing looks animated. It looks 100% real. The closest I think anybody's really gotten is like some of those movies they've made with the more advanced animation technology, like the
I'm
Final
sure,
Fantasy Spirits Within and the stuff that came after that. But
oh
I
dude,
mean,
like even these new Pixar movies, like freaking Moana,
yeah,
and like some of
yeah.
these
I
are
mean, it's
gorgeous
getting
movies,
there when
but
they
these are
can
like.
incorporate that into video game graphic technology, and
But you're talking about several $10,000 rigs trying to render these movies out.
yeah.
I don't think games will hit that in the foreseeable future.
Well,
But
when you achieve the processing power, and I mean, it's got to go beyond that for it to really be. I'm talking about where it looks like me and you sitting here talking. That's that's the next gen to me. I think we're just improving on details. At this point,
yeah,
we're just
which is
making details.
necessary.
But yeah, I understand. But until we get stuck out of, I think we got to break out of that box somehow. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now because this wouldn't, it's nothing that I can solve or figure out.
Oh, sure,
Uh,
sure. I
but
have a little bit of knowledge on it. I've
Yeah.
dabbled in the UE a couple times. It's not really my thing. It's just too much. I was going to say something. An interesting thing you should look up. Remember, I mentioned a channel called Digital Foundry a couple weeks ago
Oh
about
yeah, I've heard of
it.
it.
Just totally. Oh yeah, it just totally breaks down like the technology and how games run, and they do a show every couple weeks called uh, DF Retro. They break down these older games. Anyway, there's a Kingdom Hearts 3 video that they did comparing the Kingdom Hearts 3 Toy Story world with the original Toy Story movie. And it actually does things a lot better than the Toy Story movie. It falls short in certain areas, but it shows that we've come far enough to match CGI in movies, at least back in the 1990s.
Yeah, from back
Um,
then. Yeah, but
I
that's
think
what
you
I'm
should check
saying.
it out. It's
We're
really interesting.
I would assume we're probably about maybe 5 years behind uh, studio quality CGI now because of the sheer magnitude of the gaming industry now,
Yeah,
and because of the things like these cards that are coming out and stuff like that. It's I think it's not so much a boon for the gamers themselves as it is for the game developers who can use these things to make it easier for them to do their jobs and then just scale it down to these lower end cards and stuff like that. But it makes their initial job, their initial output so much easier to create. They
which dude,
create
you don't
their
even know. It's amazing. Just
so
seeing it
that
work.
that I do understand that.
Because I've set up a couple of scenes in Unreal and Blender and stuff like that, and lighting is such a bitch to nail. This just seems like it's going to solve a lot of problems, make games a lot easier, development times much shorter. That's if this technology catches on. If it's not just a gimmick.
Yeah.
But man, seeing that Battlefield 5 demo, like I said, with the tanks shooting the flamethrower out, you could see the flames sort of refracting the wood-based material on the guns, even the barrels, all the windows going down the street, the puddles along the street. Oh, dude, it's a game changer. I truly believe it is. Um, One thing. They showed Tomb Raider, they showed Battlefield, and they showed something else. Oh, yeah, that PS4 game that they announced during E3, Control.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, I
So
feel
this is
like,
the NVIDIA RTX
yes, the RTX 2000 series.
2000 series. Okay.
That's the most interesting thing that came out of Gamescom, I feel. And they showed 15 minutes of Devil May Cry gameplay today, which looks awesome. I don't know how much you want to go into that, if you want to be like spoiled on certain things. I mean, there's no story shit in it. There's just gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, there should be. What'd you think of it?
Oh man, I don't know. I wish it wasn't Nero. I wish it was Dante. But they did show Dante at the end and what his gameplay is going to be like. It looks like you could actually take the motorcycle and ride around on it and split it into two weapons, and it's pretty cool. It looks like Nero has like a grappling mechanic now, and to be honest, I only watched it once. I wasn't really paying that much attention, but the boss fights look pretty cool. Really dynamic, like you smash through a floor, go right through it, into a different stage. It looks a lot like God of War as far as like the cinematics go, like the way you can like sling these huge hulking creatures around, and it looks cool. I'm not like
That's
too
awesome.
impressed, but
Do you
'cause
think
I
it'll
just
be
really
as good as God of War?
I can't say that. I only played an hour of God of War, so I couldn't really tell you. I don't think it'll like shock the world as much as God of War did. Funny thing though, PlayStation Worldwide Studios boss Shuhei Yoshida said the first time he ever picked up and played God of War, he was horrified.
I'm literally on that article right now. Yeah, I was seeing what that was all about.
Yeah,
Yeah, he didn't like, but they were, in the middle of developing the engine and all kinds of stuff. So, it's like when you watch a movie before it's oh god, it had freaking ads with stuff going on. Close that out. Um, That made me lose track of
Yeah,
what I
like
was
when you
trying to
watch a
say.
movie in pre-production or
Yeah,
something.
when you're watching a movie that hasn't been, fully, when you're watching just edited scenes, or like when you hear like a song before it's been produced or something, it's never as good as it's originally supposed to be. So even in
Right.
video games,
But I
those
mean, you
pre.
gotta understand that he's used to that. He understands that, and he's used to that. So it kind of says something about the state of the game at that moment. Like it probably went through a little bit of development hell. Obviously,
Yeah.
not too long, but I mean, I don't know. They obviously turned it around, so good for them.
Yeah, and one of the other big pieces of news that I saw was the Amazon Prime ending their 20% discount on the Amazon pre-orders video game pre-orders. That's pretty significant. I think that's going to lose them a lot of subscribers. I
Yep.
think a big portion of that's probably video gamers who are trying to get that discount because they do pre-order games for the bonuses that you get when you pre-order games. I pre-ordered 2 games already this year, and got the. I usually don't go out on a limb, and I was talking about how economical I am. I went and bought the deluxe editions of 2 games this year already. And I won't even get to play them for another 3 months. So I guess I kind of am a hypocrite in that sense.
I mean, just
But
spend money where you want to spend money. There's no shame
yeah,
in that.
exactly. But yeah, so I can understand 20% would be significant if I would have, gotten that. But I don't think, not 100% sure either one of the games that I wanted would have been pre-orderable because they have early access on the games, and a lot of the places you try to order it, they don't even ship until the release date. So you don't get to play it on the release date. Maybe Amazon's different; you get faster shipping or something. But I had to buy it straight from the developer to get it in time to play with the early access, which was like 4 days early.
Right, right. Um, Another thing I noticed they did was they removed ad-free streaming from Twitch Prime members, which are subscribed to Amazon Prime. So they're doing a lot of restructuring around their gaming.
Hold on.
So Street Killing, it was just announced, or I just saw it today, at least, that headline.
Sorry. They're ending what?
Twitch Prime, you
Oh
know how you
yeah,
can, yeah, they're ending the ad-free streaming when you subscribe through Twitch from Amazon Prime. Yeah, doesn't really affect me none, but it's kind of, I mean, they seem to be doing a lot of restructuring around their whole gaming department or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
yeah. I don't use Twitch either. I just use YouTube exclusively. I guess until I get an Xbox and decide to start streaming there, but I don't see that happening in the near future, especially with all these games I just had to spend so much money on. It would be um, 6 months to a year before I could even think about affording an Xbox. And then there'll be new games out for PlayStation that I have to buy. So it's a vicious cycle.
Yes, it is. We live very, very torturous, very hard lives.
That's right.
Fucking video games.
So what else have we got?
Shit! Let me look. Let me look real quick. I got something pulled up here. Something pulled up here. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to add was Devil May Cry actually has a release date now, March 8th next year. So pretty soon. I'm really stoked about that. Honestly, Devil May Cry used to be my favorite franchise.
March 8th, huh?
It's March 8th, early March. I'm fucking stoked about that.
That's pretty close. That's not too far.
But yeah, another thing I want to point out is developer Supermassive Games, the ones who made Until Dawn, that horror game. They are coming out with a new anthology horror series. The first one called, God damn it, where is it? Let me just search Supermassive. Supermassive Games. They just announced it. I can't remember what it's called though. It looks pretty cool. The first episode looks like a ghost ship type of story.
Hmm.
Let's see. What's showing it right? Okay, Man of Medan is the first episode. I guess it comes out in 2019. Didn't think it'd be that far, but that's all right. I don't see what the game is called though. I swear to God, I just saw that shit this morning. It looks way better than Until Dawn. Until Dawn had a lot of technical problems, like frame rate issues. That game ran at like 20 frames per second at all times. I still liked it. I still enjoyed it. It was a good single player game, but it was one of those choose your adventures, as you would call them, non-games.
Yeah.
The Dark Pictures. That's what
I did play Until Dawn. I played it all the way through one time. I didn't play it any more than that. But
it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. It's just it's so on rails that I feel like it takes me out of it.
Oh man, like sometimes linear games are really good though, man. Like
sometimes, but I'm just so spoiled now. I want to go. I see a mountain. I want to jump over it now. Skyrim's got me just completely spoiled in that aspect. It's even got me tricked in the. When I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, I think I could just drive over every mountain instead of, taking the roads like I'm supposed to. And like an idiot, I always, doesn't end up well. It works in Skyrim, but it's not so much applicable in many other games. But yeah, I'm completely spoiled in that open world, free roaming aspect of so many games that, like even the shooters, like Fortnite, it's such a big map that you can practically just go wherever you want, and you can almost role play or you can make it a role playing thing. It's I'm spoiled. I have to have that sense of openness and freedom. I have to have almost free will in almost anything I play now. It's ridiculous, but it's just I think the way games are they're evolving in two separate pathways. The one where you kind of have free will, and the ones that are like, because those games are really prevalent and predominant right now. The choose your own adventure games, they're everywhere. There's one coming out every day for every single property, and they're making money. There's people buying these things, and I mean, I'm like, I get them for free, and then I'll play them, but I'm not paying money for that shit. You're out of your mind.
It's the same with open world games. There's a new open world game every couple months being released. Just fine. Yeah, I'm a little jaded on open world games.
Those are you've got to hit everything just right in one of those open world games. You've got to get all the, not many get it right. Like I tried, I'm still gonna try that Horizon Zero Dawn. I've got to get back into it. I've been slacking, but it didn't nail those key things that I needed. That a house, a place to call your own, and a custom character. I just hate being forced into a role. Even though you can kind of, take your own narrative or whatever, it's hard to do when they're forcing their narrative on you so much. Like in, Elder Scrolls, they might be hollering about, the war between the Jarls and stuff like that. You don't have to listen to that shit. You can just go out in the woods and hunt deer if you fucking want to.
Yeah.
I guess you can do that to an extent, but it's just not as immersive. You're taken out of it. I think the thing with Skyrim is that it's almost more realistic. I think the mech part might take me out of the element a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn, but you could argue then why do I like Fallout? But Fallout just hits this tone that it's just you can feel it. It's almost like you can smell it, or you can not. You don't just see it. You can tell that it hits all these key tones of building this world that looks post-apocalyptic, and I think that may be something that has been missing for me from Horizon Zero Dawn, is that I can't get into their world. I mean, they kind of threw you in there half-assed with not really much explanation, and I guess you're supposed to figure out, what happened with the machines and the people, you know, through the storyline and through the old stuff, and you're supposed to
Yeah.
figure it out that way. But I kind of need to be invested in the world when I get there. I kind of have to care about it from the beginning. I understand that mode of storytelling, but I guess it's just not that effective on me. Um, it's just not. I'm gonna keep trying, so hopefully I'll change my opinion of it.
I feel like where Skyrim prevailed over Horizon Zero Dawn is setting up the scene.
Yeah,
Because that really, I agree with you, that really made you want to just explore every single inch, just figure out every single thing about this world. And Horizon Zero Dawn just doesn't have that. It just sort of like tells you who your character is and just sets you off on this quest to figure out who you are. Just cliche story. I get it. I do.
yeah. I mean,
Whereas
that's
in
why
Skyrim, you're just someone being wheeled into this city about to be executed, and then you just take off, and you're just this person
yeah, just a
just
regular
there.
guy just running through the woods trying to figure shit out, just trying to
Yep.
get by. You know, not some. It doesn't start out as, you know, some save the world quest, you know, or
Right.
save the tribe, or, you know, whatever, you know, the particular thing is. So I get, I can get there is the people who want to play games like that, and who enjoy those types of games. Uh, I do to an extent. It's just they're they're not very. I don't do it very often. They're not for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Different folks, different strokes, all that jazz. Um, so you haven't been playing anything this week, huh?
Not really. You know, the WWE is always, and Grand Theft Auto. I played it last night. I haven't had a chance to play anything else really, so it's
Playing
been kind of a
online?
boring week. Yeah, I played online with Street Killing and a couple other guys last night. We had a blast playing some of the different things, and I've noticed that you're either having fun or you're making money. That's the only two things you can do, but you can't do both. You can, well, you can kind of have fun with like the little missions that make actual money and that are a good gain, uh, but they're not as fun as the things that don't make so much money. Uh,
Sure.
you play the things that are more fun, you're not going to make as much money. But if you want to play the thing that you can have a little bit of fun but make a lot of money, that's your two options. You don't get to, you can't have both. And
It's
you know,
fun or busy
you
work.
it is, and you've got to have somebody, people who are willing to, you know, stick it out and do what's supposed to be done, especially when you're trying to do those things. Because somebody starts to get bored, and then all of a sudden that uh, making money starts to turn into having fun and no money being made real quick. So you got to be careful with that.
Yeah. I've been playing Super Mario Odyssey the past few days. Got back
Super
into
Mario
that.
Odyssey. Oh, on your Super Nintendo?
Yes, on the, no, on the Switch.
Oh, that's the Switch. Yeah, that's Switch. What was it on?
Yes, sir.
They had a game something like that on Super Nintendo, didn't they?
I had a Super Mario Land? Or is it World? I think it's Super Mario Land. Yeah, Mario Odyssey, you can't really see it, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
there. It's pretty sweet. I fucking love this game. I almost forgot how much I loved it.
Nice.
Um, it's pretty much a love letter to Super Mario 64. I don't know if you ever got into that one. That's probably one of my favorite
Yeah,
ones.
there should be
64.
almost everyone from our generation is one of their favorite ones. You know, I kind of grew up with the older ones too, but
Yeah.
um, 64 Mario is definitely a classic.
It just it hits almost all of those notes. One thing that I would complain about is that it's probably a little too short. But everything else, man, just the music, the level design, the way you interact with the world, the maneuverability you have as opposed to Mario 64, it just feels so fresh and new and responsive and fun. And it just makes you smile, man.
That's
Makes you
interesting.
smile.
Yeah, I kind of missed the bus on the whole Switch thing. That's another one, you know, that it's on the wish list, but you know, it's kind of not at the top of it.
Right, right. Well, yeah, Mario Odyssey, that's the reason I got a Switch. I eventually got Breath of the Wild also.
Yeah,
I'm not as big a
that would
fan
be
of it.
one in the Skyrim. I'd like to. I mean, I know Skyrim's toned down on it, but it'd be nice to just be able
Not
to
that
take
much.
Skyrim with me on a tablet. You know.
Yeah. It's not even
Yeah.
really toned down, dude. It's about the level as the 360 PS3 version,
Okay.
except for
Yeah.
it probably runs a little better. So, as Breath of the Wild, I liked it. I just feel like it's not really. It's a little overrated to me.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It has a few problems with it. Just some design choices I don't agree with.
Okay, but that's cosmetic stuff. I mean, as far as the
Well, I'm
gameplay
talking
and
about
all
like
that.
mechanics,
Oh,
like the
okay.
design of like the game mechanics and stuff like that.
I see.
Because I mean, every weapon that you get can break. Every single weapon, and that just sort of takes away. That's probably the biggest flaw it has for me. But there are a few more that I can go on and on about. But just having every single weapon be able to break, even the Master Sword. You break your Master Sword, you're out of luck for like 5 minutes. You got to walk around and do something else until it respawns.
Oh, it comes back. Well, I mean, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, it's the Master Sword, so it's got to come back. But everything else just breaks, and you can't repair it. It's just gone.
None of that's game breaking, is it? Some of these things you don't have to get to the next stage.
No, it's like I said, it's a fine game. It's fun. It's just that's probably one of my biggest gripes about it.
I
It
got you.
keeps
I
me
got
from
you.
enjoying it as much as I want to.
Okay. So you would have just nixed that whole thing, just had it gone altogether.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know what I would have done. I guess they did it for a reason because otherwise the game probably would have been too easy. You wouldn't have had as much of a reason to pick up this weapon here if you already had this weapon. So
It was
sort
a
of forcing you
balancing
to.
decision, but they're forcing you to do it at their,
Yeah,
you're at their mercy. I get it.
pretty much.
Okay, I see.
Otherwise, I think you'd probably like it. Honestly, it's not like you're still Link, so it's not like you're your own character. Although I guess you kind of are because the idea of Link is that you're projecting yourself. You're linking yourself with the character.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with the Zelda games. I've always enjoyed Zelda. It's a little bit more on wheels, but it's pretty. It's almost like a platformer RPG kind of.
No, this
Uh,
one's big open world.
yeah, I know that the more recent ones, the classic ones, like my favorite was always Link to the Past. I could
Yes,
play that game for days. I still can, pop it in and just go back. I can beat the first, you know,
it's perfect.
four stage. I can get to the Dark World in like an hour, 2 hours or something like that. So I mean, I've played it so much that it just takes you right back. And
Like they
it's
just
great that some games are like that, and some games aren't. Some games don't stand the test of time, like you were mentioning, GoldenEye. It's almost
um,
impossible to play,
the
but you
prime
can still
example of
play.
games that hold up. It's The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Oh,
Mm.
yeah,
It's still beautiful to this day. The setting, the music, the graphics still look great. You can
like
put
they
it on a
really
big,
fucking nailed it.
yeah, you can even throw it on a big TV and it still looks good.
Yeah. Just like the color palette, the sprite artwork, and all the effects work.
Yeah.
That really fucking nailed it. Good job, Nintendo. Good job. Just make another one. Their online is coming out at the end of next month, so I will have some stuff to say about that. And hopefully they release a old school Nintendo game that's actually worthwhile. Because that's their plan. They plan on slow dripping these titles out for people who pay for their online services. Which, to our point last week, they just need to put all of these fucking games in a library for people to buy so they can make their money off them. I'm excited to get these games, but I don't like the way that they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's kind of bullshit. A lot more people would buy a Switch if you could buy fucking Mario 3, Super Mario Brothers 3, Chrono Trigger, all the old school Final Fantasies, Kirby's, all those games.
Yeah.
Just a missed opportunity. But we rambled on it last week, so I'm gonna cool
Yeah,
down now.
I agree. They should make it more accessible. I mean, there's so much money to be made that I just can't. If I were the CEO of Nintendo, I would be losing my mind because there's so much money that they're not making. So much money that they're not making. If you think about how retro is everything right now, you could mobile. Uh,
Hmm.
oh my God, the money they can make in mobile.
Dude, they could even put these
Just
games on PlayStation, dude. Like these lesser known games, not even they're like Mario's or Zelda's, just the old Nintendo games they don't care
just,
about.
just think how much money they could make if they put a working actual version of Super Mario Brothers. The first, not Mario, the first one from Nintendo, but Super Mario World or whatever.
Yeah,
The classic. That would make millions in the first day.
they can
And
sell that bitch for
it's all the code's already out there. All they'd have to do is just make their own legit, officially licensed emulator, throw the game in there, and they've got $1 billion fucking dollars. What's where's it doesn't make sense to me that they haven't done it. Why are they? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. It's very frustrating. It's very,
These games are already being put out there for free, and people would gladly pay for them to have it on a licensed official, machine.
man, instead of
Um,
downloading a ROM, which you have to play with your keyboard or PlayStation controller. I mean, you don't even have the authentic Nintendo experience by not having the controls and all that.
you wouldn't lose any money. And all these adults who don't want to play the new games because they're more complicated and they're harder and so many buttons on the controller, they could just play the games that they remember on their phone or on their kids' game or on whatever they want. It's
Yeah.
just, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand it at all from a money making perspective. It's a business. You want to turn a profit. You're trying to compete with Sony and Microsoft. Blow them out of the fucking water.
Oh,
You
they could,
know,
dude. They have the library to do it, man. I don't know what they're doing, but uh,
it's
what's
sad
going on?
and it's
What's going
not
on with
fair.
Mario Maker? Why the fuck isn't Mario Maker on the Switch? That would move systems like it's was nobody's fucking business.
It was a good game. Absolutely. I
So,
don't understand. I mean, there's so many games that they could be marketing and using, and they just don't. It's like they're being run by somebody who just doesn't care about the gamers or profits. Um,
I mean, I couldn't tell you, man.
these are common sense decisions to me. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, are they trying to protect what intellectual property or copyright laws
licensing,
or
yeah.
there's no reason that they can't be making money hand over fist and satisfying gamers all over the world at the same time. I mean, I can't believe that they're saying that they should, just charge us. They should give it to us for free. But it's not going to be.
Yeah,
That's never going to be the case. They should make money,
right.
and they will. They're providing a service. The service is giving us these games again.
Think of the
It's
analytics they could get off this, dude. By releasing these older games, like they could see what sells the most, and next 2 years, game will come out on the Switch of that franchise, like Star Fox or Mario or whatever, just based on
something.
whatever
It gives
sells.
them an idea of what people are interested in again.
Yeah,
Give them an idea of demographics. You're completely right. It would provide data, valuable data, and that's the most important thing. Knowledge is power. Knowing what the people want before they want, before they do.
see, that's where
It,
Nintendo falls way fucking short.
they're
They
dropping the
just,
ball, man. Dropping the ball.
I mean, the Switch is a good console. Don't get me wrong, but like you said, they dropped the ball on just a couple of major things about it. I don't know, dude. I still love it though. It's a good console.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I wanna get one, or maybe I'll get one for my daughter for Christmas, and I'll just play it. We'll see how that works out. Uh, but yeah, it's very disappointing. The things that they could be doing versus what they are doing.
Yeah, it really is. Because like just the library itself, dude. Like it would move these if they put it just for the Switch, not even on mobile games. Like people will buy these fucking machines just to play those old games.
Yes.
If you just put them on the
they're
Switch.
paying, what, $60, $100 for the little Super Nintendo with 21 games on it, and they're selling out. You can't get them, anywhere else.
I feel
They're
like that's
$300 on eBay.
That right there is the reason why they're not putting these games on the Switch, is because they don't want to take away from the sales of their classic machines.
It can't be making that much money. They're not shipping that many because they're not even in stock anywhere.
They're trying to
create demand or something.
Yeah, they're trying to create demand by the loads. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. They're not gaining anything from this.
No.
They're trying to. I see what they're trying to do, but it's not working.
Not to me. Or not on. Well, I mean, I bought the damn thing, but, I unload trucks at Walmart, so I saw it come in. And I was like, well, let me just set this off to the side. I'm going to go buy that when I get off. I mean, so I didn't have to, do anything extra to wait for it. And I was like, well, I've got it. And plus, and then once I realized I could mod it, I'm like, well, they're not going to give it to me. I'll just fucking make it. So now I've got my Super Nintendo that does anything I want it to. So I've got what I want. Is they just wouldn't give it to me, so I had to take it. Sorry, Nintendo.
I have to get you to copy that folder for me onto the flash drive. I was a little too late for that. I'm sure there are other websites I can have some ROMs at, but
I could probably even just give you the link to where that is, just not here. There's a link to that.
Oh yeah, of course.
All that information still. I got it straight off YouTube, so I'll just give you the link to his YouTube, and he can get in trouble.
Actually, I think it's still in our group chat. I could just fish for it.
Ah, yeah, that thing. Yeah, you're right. That's where it was. The whole library. So, but yeah, anything else we got to cover here?
Not really, man. Gamescom, from what I can see and from what I've been seeing, it's just been showing gameplay of just different games that have been announced. I don't think there have been any really big announcements except for the RTX, which you should look more into it, man. I think there's a lot of benefits that I feel like are going to be game changing. Like I said.
I will. And like I said, I understand how it will improve the back end, even through, because it'll help the developers and stuff.
Yeah.
I get that, and I'm not against that. I've never been the type who was that into the whole graphic aspect of the game. So
if it's part of the next, if it's part of the next cycle, then great. That's perfectly fine. Otherwise, then it's not worth the $500 investment on top of probably another $1,000 of hardware.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah, guys, click all the buttons if you like the video, or if you didn't like the video, click the other buttons. And man, we'll see you guys next Monday or Tuesday, or just, whenever we decide to fucking do what we do.
That's right.
You guys stay classy.
You're at our mercy.